वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय O my Lord, all pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the personality of Godhead, Narayana, the supreme human being, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamaham bande Shri Guru Dinataranam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the deliverer of the fallen souls. His mercy turns the dumb into eloquent speakers and enables the lame to cross mountains. You know from where we are reading? Let me see.
Yesterday we only read till 24, so can we just cover it with this? Just read it. 25 to 31.
Yes, 25 to 30.
When the Vrindavan forest had thus became splendid. When the Vrindavan forest had thus became resplendent, filled with ripe dates and jambu fruits, Lord Krishna, surrounded by his cows and cowherd boyfriends, and accompanied by Sri Balaram, entered the forest to enjoy.
Text 26. The cows had to move slowly because of their weighty milk bags, but they quickly ran to the Supreme Personality of Godhead as soon as he called them, their affection for him causing their udders to become wet.
The Lord saw the joyful aborigines of the forest, the trees dripping sweet sap, and the mountains waterfalls, whose resounding indicated that there were caves nearby.
When it rained, the Lord would sometimes enter a cave or the trunk of a tree to play and to eat roots and fruits.
Text 29. Lord Krishna would take his meal of boiled rice and yogurt sent from home in the company of Lord Sanvarsana, and the cowherd boys who regularly ate with him. They would all sit down to eat on the large stone near the water.
Lord Krishna watched the contentious calves and cows sitting on the green grass and grazing close eyes, and he saw that the cows were tired from the burden of their heavy milk bag. Thus, observing the beauty and opulence of Vrindavan's rainy season, a perennial source of great happiness, the Lord offered all respect to that season, which was expanded from his own eternal potency.
We are reading the 31, right?
Yeah, text 30 and 30, focusing on.
Shadvalopari samvishaya Charvato milite kshanan Tripattan vrishan vatstran Gashich savodho bharashamah Pravritashriyam chatam Sarvakala Sukhavaham Bhagavan Pujayam Chakre Atma Shakta Brahmahitam
Sadvalopari Sambhishyam
Sadvalopari Sambhishya
Sarvato
Triptan Vishan Vat Sataran
Dasya Sabado Bharasrama.
Pravarstriyam Jatam Viksya.
Sarvakala Sukhavaham.
Bhagavan Pujayam Chakre
Atma Shakti Uprim Brahmitam.
Sadvalopari Sambhishya.
Sadvalopari Sambhishya
Sarvato Milikeshanam.
Sarvato Milikeshanam
Tripam Vratsam Vatshatram Vatsatam.
Tritan Vishan Vatsatam
Gascha Swadho Bharashramaha.
Vasya Svado Vasya
Pravartashriyam Chatam Vikishya.
Pravartakam Jatamishya
Sarvakala Sukhavaham.
Bhagavan Pujayam Chakre Atma Shakti Upadrityam
Synonyms all together, please. Sadvalah, aggressive edge. Upari, upon. Sambhishya, sitting. Chakravatah, who were gazing. Milita, closed. Krishnan, their eyes. Triptan, satisfied. Rashan, the bulls. Vatsaran, the calves. Gaha, the cows. Cha, and Swa, their own. Rupa, of the milk bags. Bhara, by the weight. Shramaha, fatigued. Pravrat, of the rainy season. Shriyam, the opulence. Cha, and Tam, that. Vikshaya, seeing. Sarvakala, always. Sukha, pleasure. Avaham, giving. Bhagwan, the supreme personality of Godhead. Pujyam Chakre, potency. Paprihitam, expanded. Translation altogether, please. Lord Krishna watched the counted bulls, calves, and cows sitting on the green grass and grazing the closed eyes. And he saw that the cows were tried from the burden of their heavy milk bags, thus observing the beauty and opulence of Vrindavan's rainy season. Primal source of great happiness, the Lord offered all respect to that season, which was expanded from his eternal potency. Purport. Yes.
Or just stretch. The lush beauty of the rainy season in Vrindavan is meant to enhance the pleasure pastimes of Sri Krishna. Thus, to set the scene for Lord's loving affairs, his internal potency makes all the arrangements described in this chapter.
Hare Krishna. In the purport, it is described that the lush beauty of the rainy season in Vrindavan is meant to enhance the pleasure pastimes of Krishna. So, today we'll try to focus on why the rainy season, or us human beings, or everyone in Vrindavan or involved, is meant to satisfy Krishna. Before that, we've been reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, the rainy seasons, and Bhagavatam is describing the rainy seasons, how it is and also a lot of similes, a lot of philosophy, which is going side by side. So we'll start with talking about Srimad Bhagavatam first, and then we'll go into the topic. I was maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I was hearing a lecture here in the room, and the speaker was talking about the importance of reading, and they were saying that when he started reading, when he started reading Srimad Bhagavatam, he thought it was just a book, just a 5,000-year-old or very ancient book. How can I relate to it? But as he was reading it, he discovered that it has a lot of similarities to his own life. So whenever we read Srimad Bhagavatam, we try to read these books. We generally have some notions of, and there's some ancient scriptures, but they have a lot of similarities with our life. And there are some instructions, there are some stories, there are some pastimes of Krishna, and these are meant for us. All the instructions that Prahlad Maharaj instructions, Lord Kapila instructs, Krishna instructs, Uddhava instructs, everybody is instructing. Even in prayers, when they are praying, for example, Dhruva Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj, when they are praying to Krishna, they're side by side instructing us. They're doing both the work at the same time. So when you will read these scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll find some similarities between what's going on in your life and what is going on in devotees' life, and how Krishna is reacting to them, and how Krishna is reacting, or how Krishna is reciprocating in your life. So we have to make friends with the books, especially Srimad Bhagavatam or small Srila Prabhupada books. These small books of Srila Prabhupada, they are like cream of Srimad Bhagavatam is known as, in first canto, it is described that Srimad Bhagavatam is known as Saram, it's cream of all Vedas. But these small books of Srila Prabhupada that you see, they are very to the point of what Bhagavatam is trying to convey. Yes, there are stories in Srimad Bhagavatam, but the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam in very simple form is in Srila Prabhupada's small books. So this is the importance of Srila Prabhupada's small books, and one of the things that these books will give us, especially the small books of Srila Prabhupada, is intelligence. You see some of the devotees, some are very good in their sadhana, some are very lazy, some are mediocre. It all depends on intelligence. It all depends on how they have perceived this philosophy. You see some people, they're waking up early. In the same room, you see some other devotee, they're waking up late. What's the difference? Intelligence. So by reading Srila Prabhupada's books, it will transform our intelligence. So this is very important. And sometimes when you're not feeling, like, this is the difference between a sadhaka or a practitioner, a firm or a very regular practitioner, and a normal guy or people who are just starting in Krishna consciousness. that they've been reading Srila Prabhupada books, they've been reading the philosophy, and they know the importance, and their intelligence has been, substituted by Srila Prabhupada's words. For example, if we take one practitioner who is very firm and in his sadhana, and one who is very very beginner, we see, for example, chanting the holy names. Both are chanting the holy names, but we see a lot of varieties. Once I heard that in ISKCON, initiated devotees, I think 60% or something like that, maybe 50% of initiated devotees, they don't chant their 16 rounds. I was like, wait, what? So you see these going up and downs. Being firm in Krishna consciousness depends on our intelligence, which comes through Srila Prabhupada books. For example, chanting the holy names. When we sit to chant, we know that if we haven't heard about the glories of holy names, and if we didn't read sufficiently about the glories of the holy names, we're not able to chant very firmly and very enthusiastically. When Vaishnavi Prabhu was here, he was giving his japa talks. He was saying that show up, no matter what. Just in maybe in office you show up, no matter what's happening in your life, what's going on. You show up. If you have some issues going in your mind, you're thinking something else, you show up for chanting. So this firm intelligence of that I have to chant my rounds. I'm just taking this example of chanting rounds. This faith will come when we read books, when our why is very strong. Why I'm doing this? That's why some people, I remember, some people when they go to India, now they are changed. They were not devotees there in India, but here now they are devotees. Their intelligence has been changed. The way they look at people, the way they talk, the way they sit, everything has been changed. But when they go to India, they find it difficult for others to explain what happened. What happened to you? There are a lot of stories. And before going to India, they're very nervous, like how I'm going to handle my parents and how I'm going to handle my relatives. You should be very firm, and your why should be very, very strong. I remember talking to one of our friends, Monil Prabhu, and he was very worried, like, how will I face my parents, or how will I face my friends? They'll be like, hey, what happened to you? What's this haircut, new haircut? What's this new color? And I was telling him that sometimes I wonder when I will go to India, not how I will face them, but how they will face me. Because this should be, because your why should be very strong, and why you are doing this, and people will notice your firm conviction, whatever you're doing, how you're doing your day-to-day daily life. So yes, faith. First is books. What Srila Prabhupada books will do, they will enhance your intelligence, which will result in firm sadhana, why you're doing this. And second is faith. You have to have faith in something. Even the atheist, they have faith that there is no God. So at least we should not be more degraded than atheist. There are levels of theist and atheist people. Some are when I talk to people, they're like, I don't believe in God. And when okay, so this is how world was created, or this is who we are, that we are soul, this, and they're a little bit convinced. And I say to myself, like, what kind of atheist are you? You're convinced? At least if you want to be an atheist, at least be a good atheist. Faith is very, very attractive. There are levels of lower level of faith in everything. Atheist, theist, every one of us, whatever you believe in, we have lower level, then medium, then high. There is one shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam 3:7-17, which is absolutely wonderful regarding this. It states that two kinds of people are happy in the world. One who are, yes, you want to read? Yes.
Want me to start with the translation or?
Translation only.
Translation. Both the lowest of fools and he who is transcendental to all intelligence enjoy happiness, whereas persons between them suffer the material pangs.
Yes, the lowest of fools, or you have to be too materialistic. Okay, I will do this, I will earn money, I will enjoy, either here or they are enjoying, they're truly enjoying, totally in ignorance. Or you have to be a sadhu, there is no between. And sometimes we are stuck in between. We go this side, we go this side. At least be a good materialist then, or at least be a good sadhu. Don't be a mediocre person. Or at least go towards being one of them. Intelligence, faith. There are a lot of stories in Srimad Bhagavatam about faith, how devotees are showing faith in Krishna. And yeah, we can learn from them. For example, Ambrish Maharaj, when Durvasa Muni, he cursed Ambrish Maharaj, he took one of his hairs and it turned into a monster. And when you will see the picture of Ambrish Maharaj, everybody around him is scared, like, oh my god, this is a monster who's going to kill Ambrish Maharaj. And Ambrish Maharaj was just like this, very calm. It's a very, very cool picture of Ambrish Maharaj. So there are a lot of stories in Srimad Bhagavatam about faith and how we can be steady in our faith. So faith is not a religious principle, okay? Because we hear it in religious organizations, even outside. They have faith. One day they will work very hard, and they will have a good life. They have faith that if they will get this car, they will be happy. Everybody has faith. So if somebody tells you, I don't have faith in this, at least there are very few people who are very famous or who are very attractive. And these are those people who are very firm in their faith, even in the matter of materialistic or when they are sadhus. Why gurus, who when they come here, why they are very attractive? They don't wear fancy things. They are attractive because they have firm faith. Even people who don't believe in God, they follow somebody else. Why? Because the faith is very attractive. So even if you want to become attractive in material sense or in spiritual sense, you have to have firm faith. And yeah, it will come by reading books, especially the small books of Srila Prabhupada. 100 pages. When I distribute books, I always tell them that 100 pages and you know what's up, and you know what's going on. Just 100 pages, just read it and just decide by your own self what you have to do, which direction you want to be in. So it's a blessing. And you take any of Srila Prabhupada books, he doesn't go here and there. One of the books, I think the Topmost Yoga System or Krishna book, if you have one of the Prabhupada small books, can you pass it on to me? One of the books, it starts with Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like what? He doesn't play around. And so, yes, thank you. Oh, one of my favorites. So I will show you what Prabhupada books are. So any random page, and it will not be like, okay, there was a man and a story, or he's trying to convince us in some other way, straight up. What is truth? So especially these small books are designed to be like this. Okay, random page. I will open a random page, and you will see there will be a philosophy. There will be something to learn from. So this is a random page. In the above verse, the word bija means seed, and that seed is proclaimed to be eternal, Sanatan. One may see a huge tree, but what is the origin of this tree? It is the seed, and that seed is eternal. The seed of existence is within every living entity. The body itself may go through many changes. It may develop within the mother's womb. See, and now he will talk about how this body is eternal. He's talking about Bhagavad Gita. Second page, he'll be talking about something else. Every page has something to learn from, especially these small books. In Srimad Bhagavatam, these big books, or Bhagavad Gita, yesterday we were talking about yagyas. We'll do yagya, sacrifices, this and that. Good, Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. But first we should finish all these small books. At least our basics should be covered. And when a person is doing a sadhana, how a person is acting, how a person is reacting, that you can clearly judge if he has read Srila Prabhupada's small books, every book or not. For example, when we were having that Ishtagoshti, and 1% of the people were able to 1 or 2% raise their hands, they read Srila Prabhupada books. 2%, some of the people here are initiated and they haven't read Srila Prabhupada books. That this should be the standard. Even these small books, 100 pages, and if you are here in this organization, you've taken initiation, or you're going to take initiation, you're very serious, and you haven't read these, very, very important points, very important analogies, and then you should please consider reading this. So faith, and one more thing that you'll gain from reading Prabhupada books, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, is knowing the nature of God. Sometimes when people they say, why Krishna is doing this? Why Krishna is doing that? Because they don't know the nature of God. For example, life of Pandavas, we see in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, Parikshit Maharaj asked, why Krishna waited when Draupadi was being disrobed? Why Krishna waited? Why Krishna just didn't kill all the Pandavas? All the Kurus. Why? Just kill them all. If there were so many instances when Pandavas were facing a lot of challenges. So Parikshit Maharaj was actually asking, this is a very genuine question. Why just, okay, I am here, I am Krishna, I am God. Okay, I will kill the Kurus right now. Pandavas, you sit on the throne. That's it. But no, that's not how Krishna works. These chapters of Mahabharata, chapter after chapter, going through these chapters and allowing enemies to inflict these difficulties on his devotees. Srila Jiva Goswami mentions, or Sanatana Goswami, that when we feel something, when we feel hardships, Pandavas are not feeling hardships like these. They are not normal human beings. So this is the nature of God. Sometimes I hear a lot of stories of devotees, like a fisherman. He was going in his morning duties. He went to the ocean or wherever the fishes are, and suddenly his hairs started to stand on end. Suddenly he felt this bliss. Why? He looked back, there was Krishna. Wait, what? Bahunam janmanam ante. With lot of lifetimes and lifetime of practice, sometimes people don't get Krishna. And here a fisherman is going and he looked back, there was Supreme Personality of Godhead. So you question like why? Bhagavatam answers in 111. Swarat, he's independent. So then you will not ask these silly questions. Why Krishna doesn't do this? Why Krishna is not appearing? Because you see he's independent. Sometimes for Pandavas, he will do all these chapters after chapters of atrocities on Pandavas. And then finally, he will relieve Pandavas. And sometimes he will just give relief. Or he will just give darshan. Finally, sometimes it will take for a sadhaka millions of years, crores of birth, to just have one glance of Krishna. And sometimes he will appear like there was a shoe shiner who was shining a shoe from Shaligram. He didn't know. He was shining shoe and he was reciting Geet Govind, one of the most dearest poems which Krishna likes. And Krishna was there, sitting and listening. There was one meat. These are the glories of Geet Govind, actually. There was one person who used to cut meat, and the weighing scale. He used to use that Shaligram, Krishna, as the weighing scale on the meat. And when Brahmana saw this, they were like, "What are you doing? Give this Shaligram to me." But that meat cutter used to like how Geet Govind used to sound. So he used to sing Geet Govind. So Krishna was there listening. And when Brahmana took the Shaligram, when Brahmana took the Shaligram, Krishna is coming in Brahmana's dream that please let me go there again. Wait, what? It's bewildering. Kunti Maharani says that Krishna, you are bewildering. You are running. Your mother is running after you. Your kajal is smeared. You are crying. Yet you are Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uddhava is saying, I'm reading 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Uddhava is saying, Krishna, you are bewildering. Nobody knows you. Bhishma Dev, when he was asked, okay, tell us something, when he was about to leave his body, they all have one thing. Muhyanti kavyopihi. Muhyanti means bewildering to so-called philosophers. You're very bewildering. Even when Uddhava is describing Krishna, the Krishna, you're really bewildering. But Prabhupada writes in purport that it's not for devotees. Krishna is not very bewildering. Why? Because we have read, he is like that. He is Swarat. He will come when he likes. He will go when he likes. So nature, you will know nature of Krishna by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Brahma describes that verse, Adurlabha Atma Bhaktau. That you're very, very difficult to find, but Sudurlabh, Adurlabh, something like that. That very easily you are attained by pure devotees. So this was one of the things, that knowing the nature of God, then you will not be bewildered. I'm chanting, Krishna is not coming. Sometimes we're feeling very good, sometimes we're feeling very low. This is how sometimes we feel, Krishna is there. Yes, he is. Sometimes when he is not, where he is. Yes, this is his nature. This is what he does for a living. We watch movies. We want some entertainment in our lives. Movies or some series. Srimad Bhagavatam is very animated. In the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada writes that if you are a philosopher, Srimad Bhagavatam will give you philosophy. If you are a theist, Srimad Bhagavatam will give you the science of God. If you are a poet, Srimad Bhagavatam will give you poetry. If you are a scientist, Srimad Bhagavatam will give you science. So he was talking about that Srimad Bhagavatam is for everyone in the world. And there was one more thing. It's a very beautiful introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam about that we need one book. Like Srila Prabhupada talks about the people. He says that people talk about universal brotherhood, but we'll have universal brotherhood when we will have universal fatherhood, and we'll know our universal father. Otherwise, it is universal brotherhood is not possible. And this information we will know by Srimad Bhagavatam. There are a lot of poetries in Srimad Bhagavatam. And also the last thing, how to read these books. Like Srila Prabhupada's small books or Srimad Bhagavatam, any book. First thing that we have to cut off these artificial boosters that we get from watching something. For example, a movie. We watch some movies. We want to get out of this world which we are in. When I used to watch movies, why? And this actually is scientific science of movies, the kind of movies we are watching. For example, when I left all of my friends and me and my family went somewhere else, I used to watch movies in which there are some friends and they're going somewhere and they're having camp. A lot of movies, a full list of those movies in which there are a lot of friendship, a lot of bonding. Why? Because I was missing my friends. Oh, that's why I watch these kind of movies. Whatever we are missing, we watch those kind of movies. Thriller, action, if you want to be someone like that. This will trigger movies are what I found, that movies are number one cause of material desires. Yesterday, I was listening to one Maharaj, and he's like, okay, what is the definition of material desires? And everybody said this and that, this and that. And he said, material desires are the desires which never is fulfilled, which will never be fulfilled. These are the material desires. I know one of my friends, he started watching some movies. As soon as he completed one movie, one series, or I don't know what he was watching, he was like, I want to be an actor. Wait, what? Yes. One day, I want to be this. And he started to have enroll in courses and all, and now it's dormant. Now he's little what do you call it? Little okay. Now again he'll watch a movie. Wait a minute. So I notice my mind whenever I watch a movie. There's some material desire, something or other which comes up. So the first thing that I did was absolutely cut off with these. Okay, I want to go somewhere. Why? Because I just watched a movie where people were going somewhere and having fun. So these artificial things, and I think in Srimad, On the Way to Krishna, first page describes this. That more than happiness, there is advertisement of happiness. So number one, so if you want to read, you have two options. I don't know if you are a Mahabhagavat, that you will watch something from outside, these artificial things, and then also able to read. Very difficult. It's very, very difficult to stimulate our mind with artificial emotions and then read. So I had this realization on Sunday when I left my phone for one day. I was like, okay, I will switch off my phone. I will only read. That when I used to scroll Instagram, I want to feel like I want to laugh. So I will watch reels which are very funny. So my emotions are already invested in those reels. But on Sunday, all the emotions were there. I was like, where should I invest these emotions? Okay, I should read. And okay, I'm laughing, I'm being serious, this and that, while reading. Why? Because my emotions are not, we spend our emotions, we spend our times. I haven't spent my time like money. I have spent my time in Instagram, scrolling this and that. That's why I'm able to spend these emotions of being horrified, being in love with Srimad Bhagavatam, with books. So yes, it's very important. Absolutely. In Prabhupada days, it was that no cinema. It was not. But of course, we not expect this in today's world. But you will see it yourself. Nobody can tell you, and nobody can instruct you. Okay, do this. When you will see, yes, whenever I'm doing these things, this thing is happening. About time, 1 minute. Last thing. How to read, cut off these artificial things, and art. There's an art of reading. I used to watch Amrendra Prabhu, one speaker. Now I don't know. It's been a while, but when I used to watch him, how he used to quote some shastras, and he will be very interested, and he will join those shastras to his life or some other people's life. Excuse me. So yes, art of, you have to either learn, either cultivate this art. I'll give you an example and I will finish. For example, third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Uddhav. When Krishna was about to leave this world, Uddhava went there, and there was also Maitri Muni there. So Krishna is talking to Uddhava. Uddhava, in past life you were Vasu, and you desired that you desire to have darshan of me, you desire to see me, so I am here now. Kindly hear this transcendental knowledge. I was like, wait a minute. And when you go to 11th or 12th canto, you will see Krishna, and now they're alone. Uddhava and Krishna is alone. And Uddhava is like, so Krishna is like, oh Uddhava, you're very dear to me. You're more dear to Lakshmi. You're more dearer to me than Lakshmi. You're more dearer to me than Sankarshana. Oh Uddhava, you're so dear. And here, I found it very funny that here Maitri Muni is there. So he's very, very formal. And Uddhava, so here this transcendental knowledge. Krishna, stop acting. This is, he was just acting because Maitri Muni was there. But when they're alone, they're like, oh Uddhava, I love you so much. But when Maitri Muni is there, he's like very formal. So I was connecting these dots. Oh wow, how Krishna is very formal when there is somebody. This is how we are also in our relationships. Somebody is there, we are very formal. And but when nobody is there, me and my friend are there, then we speak our minds. So yes, these were some, I had to call the time in describing Srimad Bhagavatam, but that's okay. But we've been reading these in past times also. But yes, Hare Krishna. Any questions, corrections, realizations? Thank you. Yes.
I really like the point of saying that we should cut off movies bring unnecessary desires. I was also at a time when I used to watch a lot of movies and my life was full of desires, and I wanted my life to be the same whenever I used to watch. And the time I just stopped watching movies, I realized that I'm living more in the reality. So it really helps not watching movies. And what helped me was reading and watching. I turned my movies into watching something spiritual. So that helped me a lot. So that is very important, which we don't see, which we don't focus on nowadays. We just feel like it's okay for sometimes just for refreshment, but that's just an excuse to watch that.
Yeah, yeah, we have to. But when we stop watching movies, we had this artificial stimuli. Stopping all of a sudden, it's very difficult. Even though now also, I say to myself, I will scroll for like 10 hours, but I will not watch one movie. I know, I will get random things, this and that, this and that. But movies, I will be invested emotionally. But you have to spend these emotions somewhere else. Spend these emotions somewhere else. Yes.
So for scrolling, if you want, I can introduce you to an app. It's called Opal. So basically, you can put a timer, and then it immediately stops you, like it blocks you from the app, and then you can also like let it know like which days you don't want to use the app, what time you don't want to, or then each day you will say, for example, only 15 minutes Instagram. So once you reach 15 minutes, it doesn't allow you to scroll anymore.
Yesterday I deleted that app. I had that because, for example, I have to because okay, I had this from 9 to 1. No, I'm not going to use Instagram. But okay, 11 o'clock. Sometimes Vishesh Prabhu will come. Sometimes somebody will come. Okay, you have to upload this. Then you have to go there and stop the session again and again. Delete. Yesterday I did.
When I say I really like to use the term of matrix, because what I believe is that there are groups of people who are running people, like controlling people. Basically, people who are sleeping. And how they do that, it's based on like their movies, social media is the first thing that brainwashes the people. So as long as you are conscious, they should not put any effect on you. But definitely are the reasons like a lot of people get lost in anxiety. As a filmmaker myself, I know.
Yes.
I just also add that, like in particular with scrolling, there's because like you're talking about remaining conscious while you're scrolling, right? But that seems to me like a particularly dangerous purifying fire, because by switching from reel to reel or whatever it is very, very quickly, you're actually wrecking your attention span. And it's something that's happening to much of the material world right now, and we're all susceptible to that. The more that you scroll, the more that you're telling your brain, all I need to do is go, and I get the dopamine that I want, more dopamine. And the way that down regulation works is that the brain is going to go, this is too much dopamine, like relax, we don't need this much dopamine, and it actually lowers the amount that you feel, and you go, well, I need more dopamine, and the brain's like, that's too much dopamine, and it lowers it again, and by the time you can't feel anything. And actually, if you go far enough into that down regulation, the brain will start to shut down positive feelings as well. It's where things like depression actually begin to arise from, because if you're so desensitized to positive things, you lose the ability to experience negative and positive things entirely, and that's why you feel very numb. So in terms of scrolling, there's a very, because really what Krishna wants from all of us most is to just have our mind on him, and that requires constant attention. And if you're doing activities that make it difficult to focus, it can be really detrimental to your spirituality.
Just want to add time. Vishesh Prabhu has mentioned a lot about this scrolling and how it, and I've read some research about how the average attention span in the United States of a young person is less than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That means they cannot focus on anything for more than 2 seconds. This is happening purely because of scrolling. Because you invest your entire being, emotions, and presence into a plot, and then you put down to the next one. So studies say, including Vishesh Prabhu says, this is much more detrimental than consuming a focused, dedicated media, which could be somewhat of a longer duration. But regardless, consuming non-Krishna conscious content is not good.
Yeah, because out of both of those discussions, both long form and short term content, really there's only one choice in life, and it's always between everything else and Krishna. And as long as you're keeping that attention on him, then that's what you're choosing, that's fine. But activities like that can be dangerous and taking your attention away from him.
The studies say it's similar or worse than addiction to drugs, masturbation, scrolling. So that's the kind of effect that it produces. So thank you for putting focus